Okay, so estimate forms in PCSE Online. Now, estimate forms will be the end of the performer journey. So once the GP's gone through and they've done all the employment change details and they've done the pension joiner, they'll then be able to, they'll be appearing on the practice estimate form. Now, if you find that the GP isn't appearing on the practice estimate form, chances are the joiner's not been done. If the joiner can't be done, chances are the employment change hasn't been done. Having a copy of this just to show you all the steps that you need. If you find that the GP isn't on the estimate form, chances are one of the previous steps hasn't been completed. So just a quick overview then. So the annual practice estimate of pensionable profit should be submitted via PCSE Online, and it is important that the estimate is as accurate as possible to avoid large adjustments when end of year certificates are reconciled. Now, the PCSE Online estimate form does pre-populate with the details of the active pension scheme member, meaning all you need to do is go in and pop all the estimated pensionable pay and the tier rate in there. However, I have got a quick video to show you which Katrina kindly went through on a previous webinar. Now, just a reminder that if you do want anybody at the practice to be able to submit and complete the estimate form, that's the role that they need. They need the GPP, practice estimates and salary change role.
Logged into GP pensions and I'm just going to click the estimate button. So practice estimate, what you will see now is that you have the option to select the 24-25 year. And what you will see, and some people have pointed out that there are some GPs that they would like to or expecting to see on their estimate who are not there, and we'll come back around that again just to make sure it's clear enough what we need to do if that does happen. But for your GPs, you just like the NHS pensions form itself, then you have the different sections. So you have GP partners, you have salaried GPs, and then you have non-GP partners if you have any in your practice. So the form will populate with the GP details. So if we start with our first GP, then what we're looking at in terms of the key elements that you need to complete and the only columns that you need to really be concerned about will be a column that says estimated surgery pensionable income, and then it will be the tier rate income. So there is another column that you can add any other pensionable income into there, but as a practice manager, then it's not particularly expected that you would be privy to that information. So the important thing is that the tier rate that the GP feels is applicable to them for that year is the tier rate that you select, and the estimated income that is going to be earned at your practice. So let's just say doctor number one, we're going to say 50,000, and I should have had the tier rate table at hand to check the correct brackets, but our GP might have a lot of other roles, and they know that they need to be paying a tier or on the highest tier. Now, what you will notice when you go to the 24-25 estimate form is that the tier rates have changed again, or at least they have changed effective from the 1st of April 24. That was as a result of another consultation by Department of Health and Social Care. So you'll find the tier rate table in the NHS Pensions website. So your tier rate, then you select the appropriate option. So there's a reduced number of options now. So let's just say our GP is on 12.5. Doctor number two, then again, it's just what's the estimated annual income for this doctor, what's the tier rate that we expect for them, and so on and so forth. So all you are doing is working your way down the form, populating with the estimated income for the practice and the tier rate. You work your way down all of those, and then we will go to the submit button. So let's just put some more figures in to here. And the form itself, as you've seen there, it only gives you the option of the tier rates that will exist for 24-25, so there isn't any way that you can put in a tier rate that the system wouldn't be able to accept. Clearly, just take some time and care when you're putting the numbers in. I do recall one person last year calling up in a complete panic because they submitted theirs, and I think instead of 25,000 they might have put something like 250,000, or it might even have been another zero onto that, but we were very quickly able to terminate that submission and they started again. Okay, and then we've got our non-GP partner at the bottom. So again, let's just select whatever tier rate we've got there. So that gives you a total of the estimated pensionable pay for the practice. Now, again, I'm sure that you all know, but what then happens when we've clicked submit on this, the system will automatically calculate and divide the annual pensionable pay by 12, and then it will apply the tier rate that you've selected on a monthly basis to that 1/12 of the income, and that will determine the employee contributions that are taken for your practice for each of the GPs. So divide their pensionable pay by 12, and then it will apply the tier rate that you've selected for that GP. It will also apply the 14.38% to that 1/12 income for the monthly employer contributions. And you'll see when you get your monthly practice statement, you'll see all of your individual GPs listed out. You'll be familiar with that, where you have a section for employee contributions and you have a section for employer contributions. So in terms of actually creating and submitting the estimate form on PCSE Online, then it is just as simple as that. So all we need to do is tick to confirm and then click submit. We get another chance to confirm that we are happy with the submission, and that's it.
Okay, so hopefully that's helped with the demonstration that Katrina has recorded for us during a previous webinar. So you may also need to inform us of a change of salary if your GP is changing salaries, so you'll be able to use the GP salary change form. Now, if you have a GP who has a change of salary midway through the year, you can complete this change of salary form. Now, this is for a salaried GP. So if a principal GP has a change of estimated income, it's good practice to submit a revised estimate form instead. Now, this will ensure that the correct pension contributions are being made and reduce the risk of any large adjustments when your GP has submitted the end of year forms. Okay, so again, you'll be able to find that form in PCSE Online and just following through the payments processes and then clicking the salary change form.